Welcome back to Speargrass Forge. If you're new here, thanks for coming. If you're coming back, thanks for returning. Today, I'm going to be testing a piece of lawnmower blade to see if it hardens. Stick around. Now, the reason for today's exercise is I've seen plenty of times online that, about what type of steels you can make knives out of and stuff like that. And I have access to a lot of ride-on lawnmower blades, and I've seen different debates on what steel that they're made of. Now, I'm a found steel guy for a lot of my high carbon stuff. Being Australian, high carbon is a little bit hard to come by. We know that it's a generally accepted rule that that leaf springs and coil springs make decent are a hardenable steel. However, because I have access to a lot of lawnmower blade, I wanted to see if this was able to actually be useful and used when it comes to actually making blades. So. I've heard different stories about, some of these are softer steel, and with normal blades on push mowers and stuff like that, that might be true. However, these blades that I have access to are off ride-on mowers, so they're a little bit thicker, and I've been told that they can be high carbon. So, now to heat these up, let them normalise a little bit, straighten them out, and then see. And then do the testing on whether they can harden by heating it up, quenching, and then seeing if we can break it and see what type of grain structure we get. Right, so now we've got a flat piece of steel rather than the twisted up bit that we get. It's got a little bit of a bevel on one side from where it used to be a lawnmower blade, of course. But let's go stick it back in. Let's get this up to critical. It's critical. We'll let it cool down just in the air. Do that a couple of times just to normalise it, and then we'll see about quenching and how it goes. This also allows me to see what magnetic temperature is for. Okay, so just dull red on this is non-magnetic, and when it gets back to the black colour, it's magnetic. So this allows me to check what magnetic and non-magnetic are on this particular piece of steel, so that we can better get the right temperatures for the quench. Alright, so it's all non-magnetic at the moment, so I'm just going to let that cool down just beside the fire. We'll bring it back up to temperature, do this a couple of times, and then we'll go in for the quench. So when it's ready to quench, I'll be back. So, I just quenched, and the camera wasn't on. I am moron. But anyway, that's been quenched. I've got a non-magnetic, and stuck it in my canola oil in order to quench it. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reposition you, and then, so you can see the anvil. And what we're going to do is I'm going to file test it to see if it got hard, and then we're going to go over to the vise and see if we can snap this thing. So, really sorry you didn't get to see the quench, but it was pretty boring. Basically, I just got up to that cherry red colour, a little bit beyond the non-magnetic. Checked it on the magnet on the anvil here to make sure it was non-magnetic, and stuck it in the quench. That was it. So, anyway, so I'm going to reposition the camera. Let's do the file test, and then we'll go and check do the brake test at the vise. Stick around. Alrighty, so it's still nice and oily from the quench, but over here where the bevel was for the original mower blade, let's see if we can get. And it seems to skate fairly well. I mean, at the end of the day, the file is harder. We'll go to the back. Bit of decarburisation there. But once I get through that decarburisation, shim hard as. Doesn't really want to bite into it, which is good. I mean, of course, the file is going to be harder than the steel at the end of the day, so it's always going to get a bite, but it doesn't want to bite easily, that's for sure. And of course, this blade looks like it's pretty good. So next, we'll go over the anvil, go over the vise, and we'll see about snapping it. Alrighty, now we're over the vise. We're going to do two things. I'm going to hit it with a hammer. I'm going to try and snap it with the pliers, the tongs as well. So, got my safety glasses on. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so it's taken a slight bend. Let's try with these tongs. Hopefully these are strong enough. Yep. Definitely doesn't want to move. Nope. I'm bending my tongs. Okie dokie. Well, let's go with the big hammer. There we go. Whoa! Took a fair bit to snap it, I'll tell you what. But it's been snapped. Let me grab a pair of pliers. Have this out from underneath. Oh, that grain structure is beautiful. Right, so see if you guys can see it. So, this is the grain structure. Nice and tight. No large chunks. No graininess, which is good. The tear is a little bit even in spots the snapping point is a little bit even spots, but not even in the others. So obviously it's still a little bit soft in places, but I mean, all in all, I'm pretty happy with that. That says to me that this can harden quite well. So, proof of concept. I guess the next thing is to try and make a blade out of it. So, but there we go. So it hardens. It's successful. I also got a couple of lessons out of, you know, for this particular piece of blade, the temperature at which it goes non-magnetic, and the quench temperature, so that's good. Of course, beaten with a hammer, you saw how tough it was. So obviously, it's the toughest steel. It definitely didn't want to bend and break. So yeah. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Click the bell icon for notifications of when I upload, generally on the week, every Thursday at 6 PM Australian Central Standard Time. Check out the links in the description from my Spreadshirt and Print Bar stores, where you can get yourself a Speargrass Forward shirt or the Gorilla Stock shirt. And I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.